Let's talk about vampires.
When you think about vampires, do you think about Nosferatu creeping in the dark or Damon Salvatore smirking with perfect hair? Vampires were not always dreamy anti-heroes, and today we're racing through how they went from terrifying folklore monsters to everybody's favorite brooding love interests. In early European folklore, vampires were not sexy at all. They were bloated corpses crawling from graves, spreading disease and scaring entire villages. Basically, the original horror movie monster before movies even existed. But in 1819, John Polidori's The Vampire changed everything. His vampire, Lord Ruthven, was modeled after the poet Lord Byron, and suddenly vampires were aristocratic, mysterious, and dangerously charming. Then came Bram Stoker's Dracula in 1897, and yes, he's terrifying, but he's also hypnotic, exotic, and even magnetic. Bela Lugosi's 1931 Dracula leaned into that suave accent and cape. This was the moment vampires became both monster and seducer. In the 1970s, Anne Rice gave us Interview with the Vampire, where the fangs came with feelings. Lestat and Lewis weren't just predators, they were rock stars of the night, wrestling with love, loss, loneliness, and when Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt played them in the 90s film adaptation, suddenly vampires weren't just dangerous, they were irresistible heartthrobs. From there, vampires went mainstream. Buffy the Vampire Slayer gave us a tortured soul angel and snarky bad boy Spike. Each represented a different vampire fantasy, a safe but brooding love interest versus the dangerous temptation. Then came Underworld with Kate Beckinsale and Leather, fighting alongside and falling for vampires and or slash werewolves and or slash hybrids, but that's a story for another day. Its romance meets action formula was unstoppable. Then we have Twilight Mania. Edward Cullen became the ultimate poster boy for immortal romance. Brooding, sparkly, and protective. Love it or hate it, Twilight cemented the idea that vampires weren't villains anymore. They were a dream boyfriend. But TV took it even further. True Blood cranked it up to 11, and The Vampire Diaries gave us Stefan and Damon Salvatore, brothers who embodied both sides of the fantasy, the noble hero and the reckless bad boy. Fans argued endlessly about Team Stefan or Team Damon, but either way, romance was the core. Spin-off, The Originals, took it a little darker and more dramatic with Klaus. He was violent, ruthless, but also deeply emotional. And these shows made vampires the most bingeable romantic anti-heroes of the 2010s. So why do we keep swooning for vampires? They're the perfect mix of danger and desire. They're immortal but lonely, powerful but tortured, forbidden but irresistible. Every vampire story asks the same question: would you risk everything for eternal love?